everyone see the altar?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Many of you know that in May and June I spent 5 weeks in India. 28 of those days. Is the sound okay? Am I yelling or anything? Good. If I'm not yet, I will be. There's one thing. There's a guy sitting in the front row, and I just wonder if you could sit back here behind me.
You should have me where you can see me.
He's known as a heckler. I want to introduce you, for those of you who have not been to India, and some of you have, to kind of a typical altar, Indian altar. People generally will decorate it up even more. I mean, we had it more loaded, and somehow we removed things one at a time, so now it's a little bit simpler. They'll have their main teachers or whatever kind of in the front, and then they'll always honor other teachers. Jesus, this is Babaji, Kuan Yin, Buddha. And I want to introduce you to the main characters here on this altar. I would like to introduce you to Bhagwan and Amma. They are a couple. Amma and Bhagwan, I would like to introduce you to the PLC family. In India, they are a couple and they have one son, and they are both avatars. They're known as twin avatars. What's an avatar? An avatar that is a person that embodies, comes into this lifetime or their lifetime at a very, very high vibration. And they early on in life, or even sometimes at birth, they come in, they know what they're here to do. Buddha had a job. Jesus had a job. They all had a job. They were avatars. These people are avatars. When I talk about them, I get chills all the way up my body, clear through my head. They are amazing people. He, at age 2, received a golden ball in front of him at age 2. And he began, at age 2, praying into this golden ball. And he was told that he was here to meet this woman. He was given her name, where she was born, when she would be born, and how she would meet him. And that is exactly what happened. Now, how do these people use the altars? They use these puppies every day. It's not just something you walk by, and kind of ignore. You use them. People pray to them. These things on the altar, and particularly this photo, is infused with the energy and by Amma and Bhagwan. It's palpable. You can feel it. So anyone that wants to afterwards can come up and touch this and receive a blessing from it. And people do this every day. Another thing we have on this altar are these little slippers. They are called padakas, and they are used for giving oneness blessings or any kind of blessing. But we use them for oneness blessing. Put them on your head, put them on somebody else's head. They are also infused with energy from Amma Bhagwan, and so they are powerful. I know a lot of what I'm going to say is, let me put it this way. I know how Jesus' disciples felt, because some of this stuff is way too far out for a lot of us. But, here is the experience. In addition to that, we have these little pots, who were Amma's pots. This has turmeric in it, or had. It's almost gone now. And this one has something called vibhuti. The turmeric and the vibhuti, the gray vibhuti, perhaps, I know the turmeric did, but perhaps the gray vibhuti came spewing out of one of these, what they call shrimutis, or photographs. They pray to these things until they do things. Sometimes they'll step out of those photographs and appear before you as a human being. Sometimes they'll send out streams and streams of this gray vibhuti. This is sacred ash. I put it in my mouth. You can do that. It's sacred. It gives you a blessing when you do that. You can rub it on your body. I put a pretty good sized bowl of that back on the table. And so you're welcome to touch that. If you have anything, a hanky or anything, you want to take a little bit home, please feel free to do that, because it's here for you to enjoy and to reap the benefit from. The other thing that we have here is a garland. These are pretty popular in India. This particular garland, we got a really long one, Joyce and I, and we split it in half. That again is infused with Bhagwan's energy. I'm a Bhagwan's energy. And so how I might use it is for healing. If I was doing a massage on someone or doing a healing session with someone, I might put that on them, and that energy will go into the person. It's much the same as Felicia's stones. Felicia does stone therapy in that way. So then, as I said, we have these others. So every morning, people get up, they bow. Actually, they go down on their belly, they prostrate. I won't do that for you because there's some chance I wouldn't get up very gracefully. Which is what happens when we graduated in India. I'll just jump ahead to that. When we graduated, I'm the oldest person there. I'm the oldest student there. And as a result of that, I got all kinds of fun stuff, like the second day that I was there, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, wait a minute, back up. The first, when we graduated, I'm sitting in the front seat corner here, and they said, all U.S. are awakened. Now we're there for 28 days to become awakened. Some people don't become awakened. You know, and so you're on pins and needles that last day. It's a graduation, and you don't know if you're going to be considered awakened or not. You know, by that time you're so darn tired. It's 28 days straight. So you know, you don't feel like a light being. It's not sitting around meditating all the time. It's not doing yoga. You'll see what I mean. So they said, all U.S. are awakened. Well, I leapt into the air, I don't know how many feet, but people's mouths were, and here's this old lady. Yay! And most of the people there are Chinese, by the way, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I leapt in the air, and then it happened that as they read off the names of the people, and you had to go up and get a certificate, I was the first one. And you had to prostrate before the altar. I mean, you just didn't not do that. You just, and so I did, and you know, by God's grace, I got up without. It was amazing. That was amazing. But one tends to handle more the higher realms, the spiritual problems that you have. And Amma, on the other hand, they do. She lives at another ashram, very close to there, but another ashram. She tends to deal with, you know, like relationship issues. You have a scrap with your husband, or you want a new car, something like that. She deals more with daily living things. So if you want to pray to somebody, if you want something, you just say, car repair, Amma. You know, they've told us to categorize these things because they don't know. They can see everything. They can see everything, so watch out what you're doing. They see everything, they hear everything. It's an amazing responsibility that they have come in with. And when I first started there, the first day or so, they want us to prostate. There's no requirements there for anything. It's very loose, it's non-secular. You pray however you want, you meditate however you want. They're about getting people awakened. Not about any doctrines or anything like that. First day I'm there, Joyce and I are like this. And I said, Americans, they don't prostate. I mean, they just don't do that. We just don't do that. But I tell you, by the end of that, I was laying down on my belly and I was glad to do it. These people have given their entire lives for us to be awakened. The least I could do is lay down on my belly. So I didn't mind doing that at all. So what is the Oneness University? Well, it's a spiritual organization, obviously, and as I said, non-secular. And it was founded by Bhagwan to seek to alleviate suffering, just like the Buddha. They have a different way of doing it than the Buddha had. And that is done by receiving Diksha. That is done by giving Diksha. What's Diksha? Diksha is just simply a transference of divine power, of divine grace. Divine grace. And it's done by laying hands on someone's head for 1 to 2 minutes. It's not a big time consumer. It's very simple. It's called a phenomenon because it hasn't happened really before. In the past, we used to go to a guru. These are avatars, they're way beyond gurus, actually. But we used to go to a guru or a master teacher or a teacher, and we would study with that teacher for 10 years. Take lessons from them, meditate, do all the things that that teacher told us to do. And at the end of 10 years, maybe or 15 or however long it took, they would do Diksha to you and you would be awakened. The phenomena is that we can do it now. It has now been energized for the masses. That's what it's for. It's to awaken us. It's to raise our consciousness. Why would we want our consciousness raised? Peace, my children, peace. Peace, the peace that Jana talked about. A slowing down of the mind. And as we slow down the mind, we enjoy the moment-to-moment life. Bhagwan says, if you're eating, eat. If you're walking, walk. If you're reading, read. Don't read and eat. Stay in the moment. It's Eckhart Tolle, there we are. So, the other thing that I've got notes here because I don't want to forget something and get off track because I can do that. Oh, I know, there was a photo here that you can look at afterwards. This just happened to come into my inbox. And it is a statue of Jesus giving Diksha. I've done that up here in front of you all a few times. I have done community Diksha, which we can do, which is called intentional Diksha, and we send it out this way. It's a little more powerful if you can get it one-on-one, but that works too. And I send Diksha every day to anybody from PLC and anybody else, Mariposa, Oakhurst, Northport, California. I send every day. Not every day, but almost every day. So you're getting a little piece of it, whether you want it or not. The other thing the main thing that they talk about every day, develop your own personal divine, your own personal God. Jana has hers. She talked about that. They want you to, they do it a little differently than we do.